Being yourself. I think it's a really interesting question because everyone has thought about it, dwelled on it, and just like kind of reflected on and thought about in depth on like who you are. And it's like this big question throughout your entire life for as long as you can even like remember of like who you are, what your identity is, and stuff like that. I mean, for example, in like high school, we learned about belonging or stuff like that subject in English, I think. I mean, if you're from Sydney, then you might understand what I'm talking about here. But like who you are, right? It matters. It's like our identity. Um, I suppose it's just like our whole being, and there is some psychology with the different parts that make up yourself. But that's not what this video is about. This is kind of more of like a vague, just like who you are and who are you. You know what I mean? That big question. Because the way I look at it, right? You should be your best self, meaning that you can change, and you can change for the better, or you can change for the worse, right? And so like I on the channel, like all the videos that I post is about becoming a better person, developing yourself, and changing. And by changing, it's not like changing who you are in like a bad way, because if you're improving yourself, then you're changing yourself into a better person, and that just becomes the new you in a way. Like you're still you, you're still the person who you are, but like even though you've changed, right? But by improving yourself, you're changing for the better. And I know that's kind of brain dead and like obvious, like it could be very simple, right? But it's just about understanding that and being self-aware about these things, that you know there's nothing wrong with you, but like who you currently are, like there's obviously there's gonna be some bad parts, like some bad things that you're doing, some flaws, but like we can't look at ourselves and just be like, oh, we're bad, or we're terrible people, or we're losers. Like we can't have that negative mindset about ourselves, just because of some flaws. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how many flaws. There's obviously gonna be, we're not like black and white, just good and bad. Like there's gray area, so we can't just slap a label on ourselves and call it a day. When you improve yourself, you know, you're who you are, but you're just like a better version of who you are. And that's what I think we should all strive for. That is what I believe that we should all strive for. Otherwise, like, you know, you got to adapt and grow as a person. You can't just be staying the same. Like that's just, you're going to be in hell forever. Like you're going to be living in hell, right? Like it's going to be horrible. You need to learn and adapt, man. Because the world won't wait for you. You got to learn, you know what I mean? And learning from bad experiences or like life lessons or whatever, like, you know, you can also learn through other people's experiences. So there's ways to improve, where it's not like a massive traumatic experience. You know, we can improve as people, and we improve ourselves, and and reach our potential, and like whatever your ideal version of yourself is in your head, you can reach it. You know, there's ways. You know, like you might not think there's ways, but there's ways. You get me? Like if there's a will, there's a way. Like no matter how insane of a challenge it is, or like how absolutely impossible it seems, it's just there's always a way. Like it's so strange how that works, but like at least with me, every single answer that I've had, right? Like there's like a problem that you can't figure out. Every single question that I wanted an answer for, and I wasn't sure there will be an answer. There was always an answer. It's just about like not giving up and just having that mindset of just being a better self. You know, being better than you were yesterday type of mindset. Like as long as you're improving a little bit, like, you know, you're set. It's more about the mentality, and how you look at life, how do you look at yourself is the big an important factor here. That is the important decision you need to make. It's just the mental. It's just a purely mental diff. It's just a purely mental decision that you make about yourself. And when it comes to your identity and how you view yourself, that is important because it affects your reality and like what you manifest in your life. If you've got a negative mindset and negative outlook on life or on yourself, and you're beating yourself up, it's gonna be fucked, right? You're gonna be fucked. And I use that term in that word in the most literal sense, like you're gone, like it's gonna be bad, right? And if you're like me, you understand that feeling. You understand completely what that feels like. It's really bad. But at least for me, there was one point in my life where I just wanted to change and improve for the better. And then here I am. I'm in a lot better spot. And since I was able to do it, everyone can, because it's possible, right? Like it's, you know what I mean? Like it's possible. And no matter how much you think it's impossible, like if you persevere and you have that right mentality, you will get an answer. It's just how it works. You will get an answer. Someone out there, right? The beautiful thing is, since we have all these experiences, we share experiences. There's someone out there who's dealing with the same thing you are, right? I mean, there's so many people on earth. Of course we have our own experiences and we are different people, but we're not so different that we can't relate on anything. You know what I mean? So how we view ourselves is important, and we should, our goal and mindset should be to develop ourselves and become our best selves. Because if we're improving or changing, it's not like we're changing and we're not who we are anymore. We're the same. We're who we are, but just a better version. You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it. That's just how I look at it. And there's too many of us that me included, we all beat ourselves up, and we give there's a difference between having a game plan and be like, oh yeah, this is a flaw, I need to improve on this, my life will be a lot easier if I just like learn how to do this or X, Y, and Z, as opposed to being like, I'm a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like that is a massive difference, right? When you phrase it like that, like it's night and day. But yeah, I believe in you guys. Keep it up. Like, comment, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.